Around the time that my marriage collapsed, my father died. And I was living with my mother and my father at that time in Florida, and I felt like I lost two people at once. And it was one of the toughest challenges of my life, not just because of losing a father and losing a husband, but all the repercussions of losing a father and losing a husband. I ended up losing everything. Lost where I lived, lost my job, lost family and friends. Lots of things come that try to tear you apart, and when you're weak, when you're a lamb that's got so many bruises and strains and broken legs on it, it can barely think straight. And that's who I was. But what he's done now is he has taken things that were meant for evil and he has turned them for good. He has turned my father's death into something that can be a testimony for him. He has turned the death of my marriage into something that can be inspiring for others, because I've learned to love unspeakably, and I've learned how to follow his steps and his ways, which is what I have learned in ballroom dancing. When you're the lady in ballroom dancing, you not only are learning the steps, but you also have no idea what combination's about to come at you. And you have to watch for the body language, and you have to watch for the steps that are about to come before you. And if you hesitate for even one moment, that's when you stumble and fall. And that's what I have been learning in my classes. No, it has not been easy. And there have been times where in the class I prayed, God, how can I do this? But once I really let go of my mind and let my heart follow the dance, that's when it came to life. And I realized that's what God wants us to do in life, which is what I want to tell you today. God wants us to dance with him. He wants to be the lead in our life. He wants to be the person that shows you the steps, and don't hesitate, even if you don't know what steps are about to happen, because it's not our job to look behind us and to see, are we going to go into a wall, or are we going to bump into somebody? That's God's job. Our job is just to go with him, to go with the flow. And when you do that, you spin more, and there's more of a freedom, and the dance becomes alive in the rhythms, and it takes you to this place that you've never been. It'll completely change your life and the way you look at everything. You start to have more of a freedom of everything that you're doing in life. You start to not care so much what other people think around you, because you start to realize, if God be for me, who can be against me? What do I have to fear? If he's the one who knows who I am and he is leading me this way, then don't I have faith enough to know that he won't let me fall and stumble? Most of my life, I felt like Ruth, especially after my father and I lost my husband, because my mother lost her husband and I lost mine. And one thing I found, though, about Ruth is she went out and worked. She didn't dwell on what had happened with her. She didn't look at the challenges that she had in her life either. She went out there and did what needed to be done. And that's what I've been doing for my family and for stepping out. And I've stopped caring anymore of what anyone else thinks, because I know if God is for me, who can be against me? And because of that, and because of that walk, God has led me to more joys and more freedom than I could ever have thought I could have experienced.